Fradiani will lead A Beautiful Noise on tour. Nick Fradiani, currently starring as Neil Diamond, then on Broadway in A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical, will launch the multi-year North American tour in the title role. The announcement was confirmed on tonight's season finale of American Idol on ABC TV after Fradiani sang a medley of Diamond's beloved songs, America and Sweet Caroline, with some of the finalists from the 2024 season. Since winning American Idol, Fradiani released his debut album Hurricane in 2016, featuring the hit single, Beautiful Life. Past My Past, his second solo album, was released in 2022. He made his national tour debut in A Bronx Tale and his Broadway debut in A Beautiful Noise, taking over the role of Neil Diamond, then in October 2023. The Broadway production continues to play for cheering audiences nightly at the Broadhurst Theatre in New York City, starring Fradiani. Through Sunday, June 30. Beautiful Noise will launch its first national tour at the Providence Performing Arts Center, PPAC, in Providence, Rhode Island in September 2024. The tour will then go on to play more than 25 cities in its first year. Additional casting will be announced at a later date. Some of my most thrilling nights have been while I was on tour, bringing my music to audiences across the world, said Neil Diamond. Having A Beautiful Noise go on tour is an honor, and I can't wait for audiences across North America to experience this show. I hope they enjoy it as much as I have. Producer Ken Davenport said. Neil is one of the best live entertainers the world has ever seen. In his 50-year career, he's performed for millions of fans around the globe. I couldn't imagine a more perfect way to honor his legacy than having A Beautiful Noise touring North America, visiting the same cities where he gave so many people so much joy. I look forward to launching the tour in Providence, Rhode Island, a city that has been in love with Neil's music for decades and where Neil himself performed almost a dozen times. Producer Bob Gaudio said, When Neil and I first started talking about making a musical using his music, I knew how daunting that would be. With Jersey Boys, I learned how vital it is to have a first-rate creative team making sure everything weaves together. We have that on A Beautiful Noise, an incisive book that tells Neil's story honestly, fantastic choreography, one of the best directors on Broadway guiding the entire production, and of course, Neil's iconic songs. Having the show go on tour is an exciting next step, and I look forward to being there on opening night in Providence. The tour is lead produced by Ken Davenport, Bob Gaudio, and Networks Presentations. This is the story of that Brooklyn kid who made it big and took us all along for the ride. From those exhilarating early days in New York to the sold-out spectacles that defined his career, A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical explores the life of a rock icon through the music that made him a national treasure. The story of the legendary Neil Diamond comes to life on stage in an uplifting new Broadway musical, A Beautiful Noise, featuring all his hit songs including Sweet Caroline, America, and Cracklin' Rosie. The grandson of Jewish and Polish immigrants, Brooklyn born and raised, Neil Diamond was a New York kid down to his boots, strumming his guitar on the steps of Erasmus High School on Flatbush Avenue. 1960s America was hungry for change, and so was he. He landed a gig selling songs for $50 a week in the legendary Tin Pan Alley's Brill building. At night he honed his voice on stage at the Village's bitter end, but knew he was destined for something greater. This was New York, after all. City of dreams. Full of life and opportunity where anyone could write their story. And so he did, in song after song. 10 top 10 hits. 140 million albums sold. His 1972 concert and live album Hot August Night, sung in front of 5,000 screaming fans, catapulted him to fame as the ultimate entertainer. He sang his way to a Grammy Award, into the Rock and Roll and Songwriters Halls of Fame, then topped it off with a Lifetime Achievement Grammy and the Kennedy Center Honors. Directed by Tony Award winner Michael Mayer, Spring Awakening, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, choreographed by Olivier Award winner Stephen Hoggett, Once, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and written by four-time Academy Award nominee Anthony McCartan, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Two Popes, A Beautiful Noise is a thrilling look at an artist's search for himself and a celebration of the enduring power of his music. The design team for A Beautiful Noise on Broadway features Tony Award winner David Rockwell, scenic design, Tony Award nominee Emilio Sosa, costume design, four-time Tony Award winner Kevin Adams, lighting design, Tony Award winner Jessica Paz, sound design, and Luke Verschuren, hair,